Muscles are essential to life. We use muscles to breathe, to run, to play. A heartbeat is the sound made as heart muscle contracts to push blood around your body. Like every other muscle, your heart responds to changes in your environment and in your body. For muscles to work effectively, they need to be excitable and respond to messages from the nervous system. They need both to extend and contract to allow movement. They also need to be elastic, returning to their original shape and size after doing their work. The human body has 3 types of muscle: smooth, striated, and cardiac. While all muscle tissue shares some characteristics, the different types of muscles are classified by their appearance, location, and whether we have conscious control over them or not. Smooth muscle is controlled by the autonomic nervous system, and it is involuntary muscle. It works automatically. Smooth muscles are involved in all the internal movements needed to keep things running smoothly. For example, smooth muscle tissue in the digestive system moves food through the body. This is called peristalsis. Peristalsis is a wave-like contraction of smooth muscles lining the digestive tract, which pushes food from the esophagus all the way through to the large intestine. Smooth muscle lines many of our internal organs. It's part of our intestines, part of our lungs, and even part of our blood vessels. Consider the difference in the thickness of smooth muscle in the walls of arteries and veins, shown here. Arteries need more smooth muscle than veins to withstand the greater pressure exerted on the walls by the blood pumping through them. Smooth muscle is made up of long, spindle-shaped cells with tapered ends. Each cell has one nucleus found in the middle of the cell. Smooth muscle cells are thousands of times smaller than skeletal muscle cells. Smooth muscle is very slow to fatigue. Contractions are well regulated and efficient. They need very little energy to keep moving. Smooth muscle can function for long periods without getting tired, much longer than skeletal muscle. Skeletal muscle is voluntary and striated muscle. We call it voluntary because we have conscious control over our skeletal muscles. Each time you choose to move, your brain sends a message to your muscles telling them to contract, relax, or return to their resting shape, so movements are thus possible. Skeletal muscle cells are larger than any other muscle cell. They have multiple nuclei, which are all close to the cell's surface. Each individual muscle cell is made up of smaller fibres called myofibrils. These are all wrapped together in a sheath called a sarcolemma. Myofibrils are comprised of two types of filaments, actin and myosin. These filaments give striated muscle its stripy appearance. They work together to contract or extend the muscle. Cardiac muscle is both involuntary and striated muscle. This means that it looks striped, like skeletal muscle, but it's not under conscious control. You don't have to tell your heart to keep beating. Cardiac muscle cells have only one nucleus, usually near the centre of the cell. These cells perform regular involuntary contractions. Cardiac muscle has fibres which branch out to form networks. These are connected by special membranes called intercalated discs. There are two key features of cardiac muscle. Firstly, it doesn't get tired. Secondly, it has a special way of responding to electrical impulses. These impulses coordinate the heart muscle contractions, so different parts of the heart muscle contract in the right order. This allows the heart to function effectively. The electrical impulse happens between 60 and 100 times a minute, depending on the age and health of the person. Each electrical impulse causes one heart contraction or one heartbeat. If someone has a serious heart attack, restarting the electrical impulse system is very important. Consider this. When we run, all of our voluntary muscles use energy provided by the body, but they will eventually become fatigued. Voluntary muscles show a significant decrease in effectiveness over time. Cardiac muscle, though, never stops working and will respond to changes within the body. When we work harder, our cardiac muscle increases its workload. It pumps harder, faster, and more efficiently. When we slow down, relax, or sleep, our cardiac muscle also slows down. Our heart rate will slow, and blood pressure can also drop. The next time you feel like you're under stress, take a moment to think about how it's affecting your muscles. Your body reacts to stress as if it's preparing to fight a monster. While there are lots of challenges all over the body, the muscles are a vital part of the body's response. Cardiac muscle will beat harder and faster for longer. Your heart is trying to send more blood, nutrients and oxygen around the body to support your organs, which are being used and needed to help you fight or to run away. Smooth muscles sometimes becomes less effective. Muscles lining the digestive system, for example, aren't needed for fighting or for a crisis. So the digestive system gets less blood supplied until after a fight or after a crisis. Smooth muscle contractions are not as effective when there's less oxygen, more carbon dioxide, or certain hormones like adrenaline in the area. Do you know anyone who has digestive problems when they're under stress? No matter what kind of stress you're experiencing in your body can perceive stress as a physical threat. This means that your skeletal muscles are supplied with additional blood containing more oxygen and nutrients. When you're under great stress, you have potential for surprising acts of strength or speed. There are stories of people lifting cars, for instance, in emergencies. If the stress continues for too long, though, skeletal muscles will develop fatigue and muscle pain can occur. The next time you pause to rest, take a moment and appreciate your muscles. When you eat a piece of fruit, after you swallow, can you feel it move down your throat towards your stomach? That's smooth muscle working in your esophagus. Feel the shifts in your limbs as you move. Try deliberately relaxing tight muscles to reduce pain and fatigue. That's skeletal muscle relaxing after your battle is over. Take a moment to feel your heartbeat. Take some slow, deep breaths and feel your heart rate decrease. That's cardiac muscle working without your control, yet immediately responsive to your body's needs.